Fine. So let's start with the reading practice. Okay. So guys, if I am sharing my screen with you, before I share my screen with you, let me introduce you with what is reading in IELTS. See, reading remains same for both academics and general training students, right? If I talk about reading module, so the reading module is of 1 hour. What is the duration of the reading module? The reading module is of 1 hour. Let me show you through the screen. I hope you people can see the screen. Reading module, the reading show you through the screen. I hope you people can see the screen. Correct. Fine. Varada, can you see the whiteboard?
Yes.
Fine. So let's start with the reading module. So if I say about the reading module, the duration of reading module is 1 hour. In 1 hour, you need to answer 40 questions in total. If I talk about the passages, so you will be getting 3 long passages. In reading module, you will be getting 3 long passages. Correct? The types of the questions that you will be getting in these passages will be true, false, not given. Second type of questions, you will be having fill-ups type of questions. Then you will be having multiple choice questions, heading type of questions, then matching information type of questions, and classification type of question. These are the types of the questions that you will be having in reading, right? I have just written these type of question according to its difficulty level. If I say fill-ups and true false type of questions, so these comes in basic level. If I say multiple choice questions and heading type of questions, so this is having pretty high level. Matching and classification type of questions are considered as the toughest type of questions in reading. So in today's lecture 1, we will be covering true, false and fill-ups type of question. We will be covering true, false and fill-ups type of question. So if I say how to answer true, false, not given. Sometimes these questions are also being asked in the form of yes, no, not given. All right. So how do we approach this type of question, Shilpa? How do we approach these kind of questions? For such kind of question, true, false, or not given. What do you mean by true as a statement? The meaning of true as a statement is meaning of a sentence is same. Meaning of a sentence is same as given in the paragraph. Sometimes true as the answer also means synonyms of keyword. Synonyms of keyword. Correct. For example, instead of increase, they may have given the word as soar. They may have given the word as increment, like that. Correct. So that means true. If I say false as the answer, so what does it mean? For false as the answer, it means the information is contradictory. Sometime in false as a statement, you are being given half information. Correct. Sometime the information is given in reverse order. Sometime for false as the answer, the information that is being given is using the antonyms form. Antonyms. Is that clear? Increase as decrease, like that. Any doubt? If I say last type of question, which is not given, which is not given. So in not given, if you're writing the answer is, it means the main keyword is not mentioned. Main keyword. What do you mean by main keyword? Main keyword is a noun. Main keyword is not mentioned. Correct? Sometimes the information that is being given is unclear, that does not match with the statement given in the paragraph. All good? Is that clear? Fine. Now these are the true, false, not given. So now I'm sharing my screen with you. I hope it is the same PDF that I have shared with you guys. Can you see the PDF, urban farming, on my screen? Everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is the Cambridge 18 I have opened, right? Now first read out the 8th question, please. Read out the 8th question loudly. They're talking about urban farming. Urban farming can take place above or below ground. Urban farming can take place above or below ground. Fine. So if you read the statement, you need to always understand the statement in 3 parts. So next strategy you can also include in this. These are the conditions how you need to do. You are being given a statement. You need to underline the statement and you need to understand the statement into 3 parts. First part, second part, and third part. Is that clear? First part, second part, and third part. First part, second part, and third part. Now, if you find all the parts, so you will be getting answer as true. If you are getting all parts, answer will be true. If you get only 2 parts, answer will be false. If you are getting only 1 part, answer will be not given. Is that clear? You need to divide the statement into 3 parts. If you get all parts, true. 2 parts, false. And 1 part, not given. This is the condition. This is for true as the answer. You will not be writing T. You will be writing complete answer as true. You will be writing as false. And you will be writing as not given. Sometimes the statement is being asked in yes, no, not given. In that case, make sure you will not be writing true, false. Whatever is being asked in the question, you will be following accordingly. Now, this is the technique. So, if I take uploaded in the YouTube, right? Now, urban farming can take place below or above the ground. So if you divide the statement into 3 parts, what they have given, they are talking about the urban farming. Second part is taking place, can take place, right? Taking place. And the last part is above or below ground. So if I locate this information, urban farming below or above, you need to check the same thing in first 2 paragraphs. You need to check this in the first 2 paragraphs. So they are saying on top striking exhibition, Southern Paris. You just need to check the keyword urban farming. So here they have taken on top of striking exhibition hall in Southern Paris, the world's largest urban rooftop farm has started to bear fruit. Strawberries that are small, intensely flavored, and resplendently red sprout abundantly from large plastic tubes. Peer inside, and you see the tubes are completely hollow. The roots of dozens of strawberry plants dangling down the inside them. I cannot see urban farming. You just need to check the keyword urban farming. Skim, scan. Did you find anything urban farming in this paragraph? Urban farming, ground. No. Let me tell you one another technique. As a question starts from 8 to 13, so you will be getting them in last 3 or last 4 paragraph. Is that clear? Yes. Now this is 1, 2, 3 paragraph, and from here you can see on next page these paragraphs. Check urban farming. Yes, I got the keyword urban farming here. So make sure you read this part carefully. Urban farming is given here, right? They are talking about underground also, right? Now, urban farming is not, of course, a new phenomenon. Inner city agriculture is booming from Shanghai to Detroit and Tokyo to Bangkok. Strawberries are being grown. Yes, they are talking about grown only growth of, right? In disused shipping containers, mushrooming in underground car parks. Aeroponic farming, he says, is virtuous. The equipment weighs little, can be installed on almost any flat surface, and it is cheap to buy. Roughly around 100 to 150 euros per square meter. It is cheap to run to consuming a tiny fraction of the electricity used by some techniques. So I can see here they are talking about the urban farming, and they are talking about how it is being mushroomed. Underground also, below the ground, right, and above the ground also. In containers, shipping containers above the ground. So according to this, the answer has to be true. Are you getting everyone? Diana, Himanshu, Pavan, Ratya, Virara?
Yes.
So this is how we need to read and we need to check. Let's go to the second question now. If I say the second question, so second question, you will be getting all answers of true, false in sequence. If you're getting first question in that paragraph, so the next question has to be in the subsequent lines. Some of the equipment used in aeroponic farming can be made by hands. If you understand the statement, so they are talking about some of the equipment. Aeroponic farm can be made by hand. Like it's not necessary that can be made by hand. So equipment, aeroponic, by hand, right? Now I have to check the keyword aeroponic, equipment, hand. You will be getting the same in the subsequent lines of the same paragraph that I read before the previous question. So it is written equipment beforehand, equipment, aeroponic farming, hand. Equipment, aeroponic farming. Do you find anything about equipment, aeroponic farming? Aeroponic farming, intensive farming by hand. In the subsequent lines, I cannot see anything about equipment, aeroponic farming. Can you see anything about equipment, aeroponic farming? No? So it has to be not given. Are you getting?
Yes.
Okay. Urban farming relies more on electricity than some other type of farming. Means urban farming depends on electricity than any other farming. Urban farming depends on electricity. So they're talking about the dependence of urban farming on electricity. Read out electricity. Electricity is given here. Now, the equipment weighs little, can be installed on almost any flat surface and is cheap to buy. They're talking about aeroponic farming. Roughly 100 to 150 euros per square meter. It is cheap to run to consuming a tiny fraction of electricity used by some techniques. So aeroponic is consuming tiny fraction of electricity. Aeroponic. And they are saying urban farming is using electricity, right? Yes. So this has to be false. This is contradiction. Here they are mentioning about aeroponic farming, but in the question they have given about urban farming. So this will be false. Clear? Looking on to the next question now. The next question we have is, fruit and vegetables grown on an aeroponic urban farm are cheaper than traditional grown organic produce. Mean whatever fruits and vegetables that is being grown in aeroponic farm are cheaper. Means the cost of food grown or vegetables grown in aeroponic farming is cheaper, right, than traditionally grown organic produce. So look at fruit and vegetable in the subsequent paragraph. They are talking about fruit, vegetable here. Look at here. Produce grown this way typically sells at prices that, while generally higher than those of classic intensive agriculture, are lower than soil-based organic growers. There are limits to what farmers can grow this way. Of course, much of the produce is suited to the summer months. Root vegetables we cannot do, at least not yet. He says radishes are okay, but carrots, potatoes, and other kinds of things, the roots are simply too long. If you read the first line, produce grown this way. Produce grown means fruits and vegetables. This way typically sells at price that, while generally higher than those of classic intensive agriculture, are lower than soil-based organic growers. Are you getting? Those of classic intensive agriculture are lower than soil-based organic growth. Classic intensive agriculture is traditional farming they're talking about. Is that clear? So answer has to be true. Answer has to be true. Getting? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
All questions will be in sequence only. All answers will be in sequence only, guys. Look at the next question now. Most produce can be grown on aeroponic farm at any time of the year. Means at any time of the year, the most produce can be grown in aeroponic farming. Look at this. They are saying there are limits to what farmers can grow this way. Of course, and much of the produce is suited to the summer months. And they are saying any time of the year. So the answer has to be false. Similarly, if I scroll down, so beans take longer to grow on an urban farm than other vegetable. If I compare different vegetables, so beans take longer to grow. The time taken by beans to grow is much more. So beans, have they mentioned anything about beans in the next, in the subsequent line? They talked about radishes, they talked about carrots, potatoes, they talked about only this much. Beans have not been mentioned. So the answer has to be not given. Are you getting how do we spot the answers? So we have done the answer for, let's write down the answers again. We have done the answer, urban farming can take place above or below the ground. So the answer is true. Then some of the equipment used in aeroponic farm can be made by hand. They have not mentioned anything about equipment made by hand or not. Not given. Urban farming relies more on electricity than on any other Type of farming, they have not mentioned that. That was contradictory, right? False. Fruits and vegetables grown on aeroponic urban farm are cheaper than. This is true. Most produce can be grown in aeroponic farm at any time of the year. No, they say only summers. False. And the last one is not being mentioned. That is why it is not given. I hope this part is clear to everyone. Let's take one more true false. I hope it is clear now. Getting all my points? Everyone? Let's take another paragraph, which is living with artificial intelligence. That is passage number 2 only, living with artificial intelligence. Got it? Now look at the questions coming in what part? The questions are coming in 22, 23. So it is coming 20 to 23 are coming, 22 23 questions are coming in middle part or the last part, I could say. Now, the question demand yes, no, or not given. So you have to write answer accordingly. If you read out the first question, machines with the ability to make moral decisions, machines with the ability to make moral decisions may prevent us from promoting the interest of our communities. They're talking about machines, ability to make more decision, preventing us from promoting interest of our communities. So you have to find out the keyword machine, decision, communities, interest. Machine, decision, community, and interest. Machine, interest, moral decisions. Moral decision. Anywhere is being given about moral decisions, machine, moral decisions. They are talking about human programs, prodigious accomplishment, artificial intelligence. No. In the second paragraph, they have given anything about machine, moral. Machines are being given. Moral decision, community. No. Machine, moral community. No. Last paragraph, machine, human friendly, super intelligent, moral decisions. If we read out here, safety, ethically cognitive, moral decisions, no. Moral high ground, yeah, it is given here, moral high ground. So let's read out this paragraph now. So we need to create powerful AI machines that are human friendly, that have goals reliably aligned with our own values. One thing that makes this task difficult is that we are far from reliably human friendly ourselves. We do many terrible things to each other and to many other creatures with whom we share the planet. If super intelligent machines don't do a lot better than us, we'll in deep trouble. We'll have powerful new intelligence amplifying the dark sides of our fallible natures. For safety's sake, then, we want the machines to be ethically as well as cognitively superhuman. We want them to aim for the moral high ground, not for the troughs in which many of us spend time for our time. Luckily, they will be smart enough for the job. If there are routes to the moral high ground, they will be better than us at finding them and steering us in the right direction. They are saying machines with the ability to make moral decision may prevent us, yes, finding them and steering us in the right direction. Okay? from promoting the interest of our community. So the answer has to be yes. Is that clear? Let's look at the 21 question now. Silicon police would need to exist in large numbers in order to be effective. Silicon police, second part, existing in large numbers. Third part, in order to be effective. Have they mentioned anything about silicon police? Have they given anything about silicon police? Silicon police. Loss of freedom to behave badly is not always a bad thing. Of course, denying ourselves the freedom to put children to work in factories or to smoke in restaurants is a sign of progress. But we ready for ethical silicon police emitting our options. These might be so good at doing it that we won't notice them, but few of us are likely to welcome such a future. Are they talking about number of silicon police, whether the number of silicon police should be more or less? No, so this will be not given. Remember, in not given type of question you need to check two options. There will be no dependence on two options. Like silicon police, large numbers are not mentioned. They have only given silicon police. That is why it is not given. Look at the next question now. Many people are comfortable with the prospect of their independence being restricted by machine. Many people are comfortable with the prospect of their independence being restricted by machines. Like machines have restricted their freedom. Machines have actually restricted their independence. Means they have become more dependent on machines. Many people are comfortable with their dependence being restricted by machine. Is that clear? Now, if you read the next, these issues might seem far-fetched, but they are to some extent already here. AI already has some input into new resources are used in a national health services here in the UK. For example, if it was given a greater role, it might to do much more efficiently than humans can manage and act in the interest of taxpayers and those who use the health system. However, we would be depriving some humans, example, senior doctors, of the control they presently enjoy. Since we would want to ensure that people are treated equally and that policies are fair, the goals of AI would need to be specified correctly. Many people are comfortable with the prospect of the independence machine. Independence of machine, dependence on machine, independence of machine. When these are right, I should get them with. Many people are comfortable with the prospect of their independence being restricted by machine. Independence being restricted. Are you finding this part in any of these last three paragraphs? I think they are saying here in this. For example, okay, these issues might seem far-fetched, but they are to some extent already here. AI already has some input into how resources are used in our NHS here in the UK. For example, if it was given a greater role, it might do so much more efficiently than humans can manage. and act in the interest of taxpayers and those who use the health system. However, we would be depriving some humans, since we would always to ensure that people are treated equally and the policies are fair. The goals of AI would need to be specified correctly. And here they are saying in the question, the many people are comfortable with the prospect. People are comfortable with the prospect has not been given. Independence being restricted by machine means the information is clear in the paragraph. It's given in the paragraph, but it is unclear. So when such case arises, when I'm finding the word comfortable also, I'm finding the word independence restricted by machines, but the meaning is unclear. So the answer has to be false. No, no. Is that clear? Information is given, but we are not clear. Is that clear? Last, if we want to ensure that machine act in our best interest, we all need to work together. Like we need to work together if we want to ensure that machine act in our best interest. Acting of our machines in of our best interest, we all need to work together. Working together. Working together. So here in this second last paragraph, what we have a new powerful technology to deal with, itself literally a new way of thinking for our own safety. We need to point new thinkers. We need to point these new thinkers in the right direction and get them to act well for us. It is not yet clear whether this is possible, but if it is, it will require a cooperative shift. Cooperative means working together. Answer has to be yes. Fine. Yeah. Yes, everyone. So this part is clear. How do we spot yes, no, not given type of questions? Is that clear? How do we spot yes, no, not given or true, false, not given type of questions? Everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. So this is how we can read the statement. We can, find the location. And according to that, we can write the answer.